We are live, coming to you live, right here from my couch. Welcome to this live stream on Black Friday. I want to thank y'all for joining me. The question of the day, why do they call it Black Friday? I have no idea. I was trying to explain it to my Filipino wife, what Black Friday is. And I said, I don't really know. I mean, I know the obvious, but what's the history behind why they call it Black Friday? I said, you know what? It's a great topic for a live stream. And I said, I'm just going to fire it up, do a quick search, maybe read from Wikipedia. It's a great place to start. It's not 100% accurate. So I guess I'll just ask the question. Why do they call it Black Friday? What's the history behind the name? What does Black Friday mean to you? What are you going to do? And most of my viewers, not everybody, but the majority of my viewers are over in the US, so you're waking up. You're either sleeping, getting ready for Black Friday, or you're standing in line somewhere, ready to fight, duke it out, slug it out over that deal. Let's see, Gina, how are you? I'm all alone, or I'm alone on Thanksgiving. Well, you're not alone now, darling, because we're all together here. Maria asked me this morning, she said, Papa, how many people are there with you? I said 3. She sort of looked confused. It's like trying to look in the background, see if I got some ladies here, I guess. I don't know. I said 3 people. Me, myself, and I. So I spent Thanksgiving with you fine folks yesterday, my Thanksgiving, cooking that delicious meal in my rice cooker. I want to thank y'all for joining me on that live stream yesterday. So let me just go through the roll call here. Hey Sam, how you doing? And then somebody says they're going to sleep because it's 11:15. Let's see. McG, how are you? And then of course Gina's here. Hey, awesome. Got a Longapo on station. Victoria. Kuripot Buong. How are you, my friend? Good day to you. Singapore Dan. Munchie. All right, so we got a explanation right off the bat. Black Friday means a 98-inch TV for cheap. All right, there you go. I mean, that's the question. So we start out with the basics for anybody who's watching, who's not from America or who's not into this holiday shopping spirit. Black Friday is traditionally the Friday after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's on a Thursday. So I think we can all agree on what day it is, right? So where I'm sitting right now, it's Friday. What time is it? 2:27 p.m. on Black Friday. Now look, if you're in America, I'm on the other side of the globe. So many of you, it's 2 something in the morning, 1:30 a.m. in Houston, Texas. Anna, how are you? All right, so Awesome's got a in the 50s, the police in Philadelphia complained about an influx of people coming to the city to shop the day after Thanksgiving, calling it a Black Friday because they had to control the crowds. All right, so right off the bat, there's one reason or one piece of history. But in a second, I'm going to go to Wikipedia, and we're going to go further back in time. Let's see, LA on station, Rad Pixels, how are you? And Gina says she's not going to Black Friday shopping activities. And then Hussein, how are you? Checking in from the Middle East. He said they call it White Friday here in the Middle East. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with me. Before I go any further, how is the audio? My voice is a little strained. It's Murphy's Law. Everything was fine. I go to fire up the live stream and all of a sudden my voice sounds like a 90-year-old man. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So let me know how is the audio and then I'll continue. Let's see. Okay, Rad Pixels with another explanation there. Profit is shown on the books as black as opposed to a loss shown in red. So Black Friday is the day that many retailers become profitable for the year. And folks, that's true. I mean, if you're in many types of businesses, you know, there are certain months that's when you make your money and it has to carry you for the rest of the year. You know, the retail, tourism. Right now, here in Southeast Asia, it's the high season. And, you know, they got a 4, 5, 6 month run, if you want to look at it that wide, to make their money. The other 6 months, low season, ain't nobody here. So it's the same way in retail, right? Okay, here it's called Oppo Friday. All right. Not sure who that is. That says Fatima something. Let's see, Wayne, how are you? Kuya Bear, how you doing? And then Andy's asking, where's Janice? She's over on Subic Bay. Okay, Victoria, let's see, the audio, I think you're saying the audio is good. All right, now that unprofessional, you're saying Cyber Monday. Now look, I don't know nothing about Cyber Monday. I mean, that's something I missed. I guess it's a thing these days. I don't know. You know, I've been going from the States for a long time. I really don't remember Cyber Monday. Maybe that's a thing now. I can't speak about that. Okay, so Rad Pixel says the audio is superb, as is the video. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. Rocking my Sennheiser mics, but the voice is not wanting to cooperate. It could be because I smoked this damn pipe too much. Hob XP checking in from Sweden, having a cup of coffee. Now, folks, I'll tell you one thing, then we'll get into the meat and potatoes. Why they call it Black Friday. I was going to do this live stream from the pool. Now, if you don't know it, it's been cool here in Thailand to the point at night it's so cold. If you get on a motorbike at night, you got to have a jacket on. You got to have long pants, a jacket. The other day I was riding. I was very glad to have my A2 jacket. It's cold at night to the point that if you turn the aircon on, it don't come on. It's colder outside than it is inside with the aircon. Side note, there's been a lot of flooding down in the southern portion of the country. Very sad situation down there, but here it's been very cool at night to the point of being cold for Southeast Asia. I was going to get in the pool and live stream this morning, work on my tan all day. I went out there, set up my tripod, got my right angle, and I was going to get in that pool and get a nice thumbnail for you, you know, to bring everybody in. And I got down about to my knees and I said, that water's too cold for this guy. You know, my jewels won't, they shoot up in my stomach and won't come out until next summer. It was too cold for me. Now, had I been drinking beer, it wouldn't have even been a thought. But so I called Big Pumpkin. I said, hey, I'm not getting in the pool today. It's a beautiful day. I can work on my tan, but not from the pool. Just too chilly for me. Papa Smurf, how you doing? New York City, FDNY on station. Yeah, so anyhow, I'm right here on the couch, the comfort of the couch. So I figured that's what I would talk about, you know. I think we've all done it at some point or another. We've gotten up early, went and stood in the lines, fought the crowds to get that deal, you know. But I guess back when I was doing it, it wasn't so crazy, right? It wasn't crazy like it is, like the video clips I see coming out of America. I think one of the famous ones was they were fighting in Target over something. I don't remember what it was. But back when we would get up early occasionally, and it wasn't chaos like it is, or what it has evolved into. Let's see, Mud Buggy reporting no more e-bikes on the road starting December in the PI. That's the first that I've heard that, my friend. You can feel free to send information across as we go along, and we can talk about that after we get done with the Black Friday topic. That'd be a good topic to discuss. I don't know nothing about that. Let's see. Hey, Capo, how you doing? Yeah, mild weather. That's the way you could describe it here. Very mild weather, just beautiful, cool, sunny. I don't think there's a cloud in the sky right now, but the pool was too cold for me. Snow Woman, how you doing? I never smoke in the house. I just for the taste. I smoke outside. I don't smoke in the house. Years back, I would get up to shop when my husband woke up to go hunting. That's from Anna. Yeah, that works out. He's going hunting. The ladies go shopping. It's all good. Okay, so let's just get through. Let me switch over. So I'm not going to see your comments for just a second, and let me just set the tone here on. I had a Wikipedia article pulled up. Now I don't see it. I think I clicked something that said bring those to the front. Maybe that's what happened. Yep. So how do I bring that over there? I'm gonna have to move your comments over here. I'll tell you, it's technology, folks. All right, I just move y'all down right there. That'll work right there. And folks, maybe, just maybe, old Big Pumpkin will join us in the live stream at some point. I can't guarantee that. She was being a little bit ornery. She was looking haggard, and I told her, I said, hey, look, you can't be haggard on my show. You know, dress up like you did yesterday or whenever. And she didn't want to dress up, so I'm not sure if I'm going to allow her into the show today. Okay, so I'm going to read the first paragraph. I'll come back to your comments. So if anybody comments, whatever, just, I'm not going to see it for a second. Okay, Black Friday is the Friday after Thanksgiving in the United States. We all know this. It traditionally marks the start of the Christmas shopping season and is the busiest shopping day of the year in the United States. Many stores offer highly promoted sales at heavily discounted prices. All right. And then the sales continue to Monday, Cyber Monday. That's what you were talking about. See, I'm not up on Cyber Monday. I've been going too long. Or for a week, they call that Cyber Week. Learn something new every day. Now, how did it start? Now, folks, I don't put 100% stock in what's going on with Wikipedia, but it's a good place to start your research, and you can prove or disprove what somebody's put up there. But this says, initially referring to calamitous days, with a notable early instance being Black Friday in 1869 in the United States. This financial crisis saw a dramatic plunge in gold prices affecting investors. Okay, so back, how many years ago is that? That's a lot of years ago on some type of gold deal that was going down, right? And then it will continue in just a second. But that's one instance. This they were inflating the gold prices, whatever. A lot of people made a lot of money overnight, and then when they shut it down, they lost a lot of money overnight. So back to 1869. Let me come back to your comments here. Let's see. Sponsored Black Friday has stopped the live stream. Anyone else having the same problem? Folks, there's going to be ads pop up. Yesterday on the live stream, somebody complained there were too many ads. And I went in there and I think I put the middle setting. Sometimes I mess up these settings. So you're going to see ads on the live stream. Hopefully they don't pop up as much as they did yesterday. All right. Okay, Papa Smurf says on Black Friday stores are a hellhole. Everybody fighting over everything. I just wait till Cyber Monday and buy online. Yeah, much safer to do it these days, it seems. But I'm just thinking back, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. I guess 80s and 90s, when you just got up, everything was cool. It was more of an event. There wasn't any danger to it. People were still courteous to one another. At which point in time did it turn over to fighting over the, $3.99 Bluetooth toaster? I don't know. Just goes right along with the overall cultural problem. Let's see. The concept of Black Friday has globalized, with countries around the world adopting Black Friday sales to mimic the U.S. phenomenon, adjusting local customs or creating similar events. So there you go. And then my friend from the Middle East, if he was being accurate about it, said they call it White Friday there. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what he said. Okay. So let's scroll down. Okay, we already talked about 1869 with the gold problem. And then let's move ahead to 1951. There was a journal called Factory Management and Maintenance in November 1951, where the day after Thanksgiving was referred to as Black Friday. And then again, it was referred to in 1952. And what it referred to was how workers would call in sick on the day after Thanksgiving in order to have a 4-day weekend. Let's see. However, the term did not appear to catch on. All right, so I'll come back to your comments and let's discuss that. Well, that's pretty interesting, right? Back in the day, if you only gave people the day off on Thanksgiving, who the hell wants to come to work on Friday? Nobody. So everybody's going to call in sick. So according to the Wikipedia experts there, the Wikipedia squirrels, whoever put that up there, a magazine article referred to everybody calling in sick on Friday, called it Black Friday. It didn't really have anything to do with shopping. It was just skip day. Yeah, drinking some tea right there. So that's pretty interesting there. All right, I'll go back to your comments. Let's see who I got with me now. I Laugh, how are you doing? Let's see, Victoria, did you get back in the stream? The good old days are cracking in the head for a Nintendo. Yeah, people used to fight over Nintendos. I remember that too. Let's see. Greg, I heard there's a cold front coming your way. Less shirtless men on soy bacao is a good thing. Yeah. Maybe they'll put some shirts on with actual sleeves where it don't look like a bunch of fucking bears walking around. All right, Living Blank says Black Friday doesn't exist by me. I don't think anyone really goes out shopping anymore. The internet ended it. Okay, no, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up because, folks, when I say I'm almost a 20-year, really a solid 15-year, I'm a 15-year caveman from American society and living in my home country. I've missed, you can almost say 2 decades, coming up on 2 decades, but 15 years. So my perspective is so old and so outdated that a lot of the stuff I talk about, people are like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Or, hey, you can't say that. Well, why not? Well, I ain't been around in 15 years. I don't know what I can say and what I can't say. That's what makes me nervous when I come to America, is because I don't know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. Why? Yeah, I haven't been there in a long time. Do people go shopping anymore with Amazon? I think y'all can order that stuff and get the stuff delivered the same day or the next day. You don't gotta wait. Are there any malls? I mean, I read the articles and stuff about malls closing, and a lot of these old malls are being renovated into apartment buildings, and we have wonderful malls over here in Southeast Asia. People go to the mall all the time, whether or not they actually purchase something. In the Philippines, you go to the mall, there's a ton of people at the mall. Ain't many people carrying around shopping bags where they bought something. But the mall is still a focal point where people go and meet up, like it used to be in America. Maybe people still do. I don't know. All right, so let's see. Audio is no good. Okay, hold up. Test. Testing. How's the audio now? Mic static. Okay, hold on, just 1 minute. Thank y'all for telling me. Okay, is that any better? How about now? How's the audio now? That's the problem when you're a one-man show. Awful noise. Oh goodness. Must be getting some interference here. Level good, but static. Murphy's Law. So give me 1 minute. Check 1. Okay. How's the audio now? Somebody give me a yes or no. Up or down on the audio? Sounds like you are at Niagara Falls. Man, oh man. How's the audio now? Is that any better? You have to change the microphone. Okay, hold on, folks. I'm gonna try to change out the mic here. Not any better? Okay, hold on a second. This is why I need, or watch your ears. Okay, I'm back. Is that any better? Okay, it's good, all fixed. How's the level? Is the level low, up? Damn, that's what I get. That's what I get for trying to be fancy. Perfect now. Folks, that's a big thing about doing these live streams. Okay, it's good now. All right, let me do one thing. Let me turn this off so I don't run my batteries down. Just a second. Just a second. That's the one thing about doing these live streams. If something can go wrong, it's going to go wrong. And when you're a one-man show, guess what? You just got to fix it. Level good. Okay. So now what I'm on a Sennheiser stereo mic. I don't have to worry about the wireless. If that mic goes down, it's just because of the battery goes down. Alright, so back on topic here. What was I talking about? I was talking about Black Friday. And my audio went to crap. Alright, so let's see. Love Liberty, how are you? Patia, yeah, that's my current location. Professional work. Alright, level good, perfect, 100%, excellent now. Well, wonderful. But you know, when I was doing the testing, this level was way too low. That's why I went with the other microphone. And then you go live and everybody says this is much better. Okay. Can only hear light music in the background. How about I turn the music down? Alright, so here we go. Alright, let's get back on track. What were we talking about? Black Friday. Sounds like I might be broadcasting above a bar. Nah, I just got my music going in the background. Playing that video from Hooters that I filmed over on Beach Road way back in the day. Okay, getting off topic a little bit. Is Patia, you know, it's whether or not you go to places that other people can affect your operations. You know, I heard these rumors they were sleeping all over the beach. I get up early all the time, every morning. I've never seen one. The only people I've ever seen sleeping on the beach, they're locals. Maybe there was 2 out there the other morning, maybe 3, because they're sleeping off a hangover. So these videos that you see, it just depends on if you go to those areas where they hang out. It don't bother me a bit. So don't let that, don't let all those YouTube videos and, you know, prevent you from coming here. It's still Patia's paradise, Thailand's paradise. So it don't affect me. And no, there's not hordes of them sleeping on the beach because I'm up early every morning over there. Bulacan on station. Let's see. Okay, broadcasting above a bar. No. Nope. But that's a good idea. Maybe go next time, get me a room above a bar for about a week over there. Okay, get a Rode wireless and continue living your life. Why bother with all those other brands? Yeah, I've got like 4 sets of wireless mics. The one that just let me down is actually a professional set, but the thing about it, every now and then it does you got to change the channel because there'll be interference. But in the middle of my live stream, I can't sit there and play with that thing for 5 minutes and change the channel. It's just bad luck. Okay. Let's go back to the next paragraph of why do they call it, if I can figure out how to get the thing back up here. Why do they call it Black Friday, right? So we were in 1952, where all the workers were calling in sick on the Friday after Thanksgiving because they didn't want to come to work. And so that magazine was referring to it as Black Friday. And then we go to where the police in Philadelphia and Rochester used it to describe the crowds and traffic congestion starting the Christmas shopping season. Let's see, by 61, let's see, blah, blah, blah. They were rebranding the days Big Friday and Big Saturday, but those terms were quickly forgotten. So Black Friday had already stuck. The phrase has started first appearing in the New York Times, talking about the busiest shopping day of the year, and the Philadelphia Inquirer in 1985 reported that retailers in Cincinnati and Los Angeles were still unaware of the term. So back in 85, it still hadn't spread. It was in the process of spreading. So those are sort of the origins, right? And who knows exactly which story is 100% true, but there's more to it, and it goes back further, and it's not clear as to exactly how it evolved. But the first use was 1869, then jumped to 51, 52. In the mid 80s, that's probably when it started spreading like wildfire. All right. So there you go. Anybody want to know why they call it Black Friday? There's some reasons, and then we'll take some comments. Let's see. Rad Pixel says he was in Pattaya for 2 months earlier this year. $300 for a 1 month stay in a decent hotel. Better than any Black Friday deals, and I'm going back in February. That's the very good thing about Pattaya or Thailand as a whole. You can find a really nice place for a really efficient / cheap price, and you're not giving up any luxury. You know, $300 a month for that'll get you a pretty good place here, and you don't have to hunt around too much because there's so much to offer. That's one of the awesome things about here. People say, hey, where can I get a great place? Man, just walk out to the soy. There's places everywhere, and they're good quality. Let's see. Any chance of a Soy Baikal bike ride at 9 or 10 with a lap through LK Metro? Usually not out that late, my friend. I'm an early morning riser these days. I mean, I'm up at anywhere from 03:45 to 05, somewhere in there. I'm an early morning riser. I do more before 7 a.m. than most people do all day. So by the time 9 or 10 o'clock rolls around, I can pretty much guarantee you where old single dad is. I'm in the bed. I'm laid up in there watching a nice World War II movie. You know, something from the 1940 to 45, somewhere in there. So it'd be a slim chance of me going out at that hour. I just don't go out anymore like that, unless I got friends or family in town. and I got to show them around. Now, with that said, the fireworks festival is here this weekend. I started to go out tonight and look at some fireworks, but probably not. Again, I just don't go out at night much anymore. Okay, why did I stop dating Thai women? I just did a video about that. I did an entire video explaining that question. Now, I do believe it might be in the members only section just due to some of the subject matter. But I just did a video answering exactly that question. Okay? Let's see. A guy offered me a flat at the base on Second Road for 7,000 baht a month. It's unreal how inexpensive it can be if you plan it. Yeah. Here, compared to the PI or a lot of other places, it's much easier to find a really nice place and a really nice deal in Thailand. Where other places, if you're looking for those deals, you're not exactly in the Taj Mahal. You're not exactly in the Hilton. You know, I can find some deals. I've showed you some deals that we've lived in over in the PI, which are great deals. No problem. We could live in those places. But if I took that same money and come over here, I'm living in a much nicer facility, a much nicer room, or a much nicer condo, what have you. Much more modern, and that's the big difference. So yeah, if you come here, do a little bit of research, a little bit of snooping around, you can get a really good deal in a nice place. Okay. So how many folks do we have here now? If somebody could put that up in the comments for me, because it's so small, I can't tell how many folks are here. I can't see the thumbs up. And also, if you're just joining me, I was talking about the origin of Black Friday. Why do they call it Black Friday? And just to rehash, it's a term that goes back to 1869 and then jump to the 50s. Anyhow, I'm a big history buff. Stuff like that's interesting to me. Okay, 67 folks watching now. All right, that's awesome. I want to thank you all for tuning in. And if you're feeling froggy, put your location. It's always interesting to see where everybody's checking in from. You know, majority of my viewers are they're in the U.S., so they're asleep right now. But we got people from all over the world. Okay, Richard. I've done a lot of videos about the word retirement, and what I tell people is that ain't nothing about me retired. I'm just getting started. I feel like I'm really just getting started. So check out some of those videos. I have a playlist about retirement and retiring early, or a bunch of videos. I talk about it all the time. Why? I'm not the expert, but you know what? I've been over here around most everybody that I know, and since I've been over here, they're 20 years older than me. You know, listen to them. So I do have a lot of experience through other people, but I consider myself just getting started. There you go. Hope that answers the question. All right, we got Guam checking in, U.S., London, Australia, L.A. Okay, got folks from all over. Let's see. Mac 10 on station. how is the weather and everything down in Cebu? What Big Pumpkin is telling me. And look, I'm getting it through Big Pumpkin. She's getting it through the village. I'm getting it like a game of telephone. By the time it gets to me, I don't know what's accurate and what's not. But Big Pumpkin says that they're still having aftershocks down there, quakes, whatever you want to call it, on such a routine basis now. It's just like a way of life. They're not scared anymore. You know, they were scared initially, but now it's just so frequently, nobody even, it's not news. You know, it's like, hey, somebody got shot in Chicago. That's not news because it happens so frequently, right? Just for example. Personally, I love Chicago. I've always had a great time in that city. But that's what Big Pumpkin keeps telling me. Let's see. Rad Pixel says, to those requesting to walk the streets at night, there are plenty of folks walking around, shot in 4K, almost like you're there. Yeah, this town, there's so many folks walking around. You know, in the past, I've done a bunch of walking around myself. Back in the day, I was out and about at night. But, you know, the recent times when I've been out just sitting in a bar, I'll see a dude walk by and he's got so much equipment and a backpack and he's got a camera up on a pole. They got some serious technology with these cats that walk up and down the street at night. I don't know exactly what they're doing. They got a real streaming setup. You know, when I leave the house, all I know how to do is go live on this iPhone. But you see some dudes out there with all kind of equipment. So yeah, if that's what you want to see, sounds like rain. The audio sounds like rain. Anybody else? Give me an audio check. Okay, maybe. Well, it might not be you because I've already had audio problems once. Yeah, if anybody's having any audio issues, just let me know. Yeah, but there's plenty of folks making that type of stuff. What do I do here? I just pretty much document my daily life, where the wind blows this guy. And these days, on a daily basis, it doesn't take me out on the streets or into the bars. It doesn't take me out at night much at all. All right, I'm up early. I heard a new 10 lady drink minimum. I haven't heard that. I don't know nothing about that. Okay, it sounds like rain, but just a little. Let's see. How do I book accommodations? Throughout the years, I've just always booked hotels on Agoda. I still use Agoda to this day. I'm not a fan of the Airbnb. You know, I'm old school. I'm a creature of habit. I've always used Agoda. I get a decent price. It's always done me right. If I'm looking for a place in the Philippines, I find those local deals by word of mouth or walking around, and occasionally you can find them on that marketplace stuff. I put Big Pumpkin to looking on there. Let's see, lots of little quakes are good news. It's slowly and frequently releasing the friction and stress in the crust, not allowing it to build up to a big quake. Okay, now it does sound like rain. Somebody else says sounds fine. Man, got all my pro equipment set up today. And Murphy's Law kicking in, messing up my audio, which is the most important aspect. Now, you know what? Since I'm using this stereo microphone, it could be picking up my fan. because I got a fan over there on my leather A2 jacket. All right, Bob Jones says it sounds fine. Let's see. Yeah, I think things have changed about filming out in public. Like when I was doing it 10 years ago, it was a different game. It was a different mentality. It was fun, and everybody else thought it was fun. You know, everybody, it just wasn't the stress as it is today, or the problems that it's evolved into. And really what it is just a number of people doing the same thing. I think that's what it is. You know, the old saying, you put too many rats in a shoebox, at some point they're going to fight. Back when I first started doing this, you know, it was the Wild West. And it was just fun. It was an adventure. And now it's people doing the same thing everywhere. And probably, not probably, it's gotten on people's nerves at this point. Anyhow. Alright, you sound good. There's no background noise. Someone is messing with you. Okay, thank you very much. And it sounds like soft white noise. That's got to be my fan over there. It was no problem. Yeah, it was no problem when I had my wireless mic plugged in, but maybe it is a problem. So I tell you what, I'm going to take just a 1 minute break. Don't go nowhere. I'm going to turn off my fan and see if that corrects the problem. Okay, now, how's the white noise? The background noise? Is that any better? Every microphone has a different specialty, right? So that one there, hopefully that corrected the problem. Fan is a soft sound in the background. That was it. It was the fan. Alright. Well, I'll have to fire the sound guy. But being that the sound guy is me, I'll still be here tomorrow. So, yeah. My Pro setup let me down only because I didn't get the right frequency. I got these little wireless mics. They're not as good, but you know what? They always work. And it's a lesson in this game, but it's also the philosophy. What was the German designer that said the best design is the least design? And that's true, especially when you're doing this game. Because every piece of equipment, whether it's a microphone or any type of equipment, gimbal, anything that you add to the equation is just something else that can screw up your filming or your live stream. Anything that you add to get fancy becomes what? A potential problem to screw up what you're doing. So when it comes down to it, simplicity is the key to pulling these things off. Now, yeah, the true simplicity is this, but at some point this thing will get hot and they'll do a thermal shutdown. So that's the problem with that, with just recording on the phone. Because unless the internet goes out, this stuff I got going right now, it's not going to overheat. It'll keep live streaming till the cows come home. All right, let's see. Audio and video are currently 10 out of 10. All right, well, thank you very much. And again, it's all trial and error. In my testing, this audio was too low. That's why I said, no, let me stick with the wireless. Yeah. Okay. And Big Pumpkin, if you're watching, which you should be watching, because I'm the most important thing in your life right now, other than the kids. If Big Pumpkin could go set up in the office and put her hair down, maybe we'll allow her to come on to the show for a minute. And yesterday she had some background echo, and what I think it was that I needed to put some headphones on to hear her. So I'm anxious to test that as well. Okay, I laugh. Let's see. Release the files. Man, you're dedicated to that. I have no idea what's going on with that. I did a video about it in a live stream, a discussion, and since then I have no idea what the update on that is. I'm more interested in full disclosure on the UFO and what the U.S. government knows and has. I'm more about disclosure on UFOs, advanced propulsion systems, all that stuff. So it doesn't look like Big Pumpkin is going to join us. Maybe she will. She's supposed to be watching my show. Okay, you can turn on the fan next time, but have one of those fuzzy cat mic covers. There actually is a dead cat on the microphone, but these microphones, it's a stereo mic. So if you're like out in nature, or if the car goes by, you're going to hear it on this side of your screen and it'll follow. They're awesome microphones. But the downside to them is they pick up like everything. Okay, so here comes Big Pumpkin. All right, let me see how she's looking here. Baby, do you have your hair down or what? You're looking a little haggard there. All right, let me put my, see if I can hear Big Pumpkin here. Let's see. I may have to add to the right, add to the left. Okay, let's see.
I don't hear you anything.
Okay, can you hear me, baby? We can hear you. You're on the live stream. Let's see, got Bangkok checking in. How you doing?
Voila!
Okay, can everybody hear Big Pumpkin or no? Let me know if you can hear Big Pumpkin.
Voila!
Are we going to the U.S. for Christmas? No, we will not be going to America for Christmas. All right, somebody let me know if you can see Big Pumpkin or if you cannot see Big Pumpkin. And can you hear Big Pumpkin? Let's see, Rad Pixel says, I went to Thailand to forget about U.S. politics and mission accomplished. Yeah, exactly. Okay,
I don't
baby.
heard anything, no sounds.
You don't hear anything?
Voila.
Can you turn your volume up? Turn your volume up. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Big Pumpkin, can you hear me? They can hear you, baby. Can you say something? Baby, can you say something or what? We can hear you. For some reason she can't hear us. I'm not sure why. Can you turn up your volume, Big Pumpkin? Well, here you go. Here you go again, Murphy's Law. All right, let me fire Big Pumpkin for a minute so she'll listen. Okay, Big Pumpkin, baby, you gotta turn your volume up. Okay, you got to turn up your volume. All right, hey 408 Jordan, how you doing? Okay, you have to turn up your volume. So if you turn your volume up, we can hear you. You need to do two things. Put your hair down. Put your hair down. And then number two, turn your volume up. Okay, did I get rid of Big Pumpkin? Time for the cue cards. Alright, folks. Turn off the interview here. Let me see right here. Turn off, turn interview on, interview's on. That's what happens during a live stream. Nothing ever goes right. Yeah, let's try to get the Bulldog to call in. If we get the Bulldog to call in, I'm sure she'll have her equipment ready to go. Now, baby, call me back, but turn up your volume. We can hear you, but you couldn't hear us. Yeah, I need some cue cards. Well, one thing I did too. I forgot to tell her, ready to listen in English? I messed that up. I always got to say, ready to listen in English? Let's see, Maximus, how you doing, my friend? Chicago, on station, via the PI. Alright, so maybe she's resetting her device, or maybe she's having technical difficulties. We'll try to get her back in a few minutes. Maybe. Okay, here she comes. Alright, we should start taking bets on whether or not we can get this right. Here we go. Okay, hold on, Big Pumpkin. Hold on, baby. Okay, hold on. Let me get my headphones on. Can you hear me now? Okay, here she comes. Alright, we should start taking bets on whether or not we can get this right. Okay, turn your volume down just a little bit, Big Pumpkin. Okay, hold on, Big Pumpkin. Hold on, baby. Okay, hold on. Let me get my headphones on. Can you hear me now?
Nope.
Here she comes.
Nope.
We should start taking bets on whether or not. Yeah. I don't know what's going on here. Big Pumpkin, you had this working yesterday. Now today you can't get it working. And you don't got your hair down. All right. Okay. Goodbye, Big Pumpkin. All right, she's out of there. My gosh. What can I do here? Man, give the girl a guest appearance on my show and she can't get her technology straight. My goodness. Yeah, something's seriously delayed. I'm not sure what's going on. You look beautiful though, baby. If you're still watching, you look beautiful except for the fact that your hair is not down. Nobody wants to see that. Filipinos are so beautiful when they have their hair down. They got that long hair, especially when they just get out of the shower or when she wakes up in the morning. My gosh, she looks like a different lady. And then whatever she does, from the moment that she wakes up until the moment we get ready to take the kids to school, she messes up her hair. You know, just goes from looking like a superstar to the yaya. I mean, you know, we like that jungle look, that morning jungle look of the Filipina. Let's see. Asia, how are you? Let's see. Collaborate. Blah blah blah. Okay, I'm not interested in any of that, my friend. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's just this is my show. I do what I want to do. And I wish everybody in this game the best of luck. But I just like doing my own show and I do my own thing. So thanks for the input, but that's just not me. I'm just too old and ornery. I like doing my own show, my own thing, go to my own places. And to be honest, I don't know all these other people. I don't know anybody. I don't follow anybody. I don't watch YouTube videos other than documentaries. I watch World War II movies. I watch stuff like that. So hope that just gives you a little bit of insight. I just do my own thing. I'm an introverted 52-year-old asshole. I am who I am. Okay, Munchie said her video is like 20 seconds behind. That's not acceptable. Let's see. Hey, Rose, how are you? And DJ Joe Barr, how are you? That's right. The trials and tribulations of producing a top-notch live stream. And you know what's funny is, you put so much effort into this, and everything goes wrong. But down in Mexico, if you haven't seen that live stream, that's a classic. Down in Mexico, hot tub, half drunk, stumble through pushing some buttons on an iPad and pull off a stellar, I don't know how many hours that thing went. Nothing but an iPad. Drank an entire bottle of tequila. Man, that's the best tequila in the world. I drank an entire bottle of tequila, a bunch of beers. According to everybody, I never left the hot tub for like 6 hours. Anyhow, try to get fancy, and what happens? But you just start firing up the iPad or the iPhone. Anyhow. All right, so DJ Joe Bar having a morning cup of tea. That's what I'm drinking. I'm drinking a little Oishi tea right now. Let's see. I'm here again. Hope you notice. My Canadian boyfriend will be in Angeles in December. Follow for like 5 years. Thank y'all very much for watching our show. Thank y'all very much. Yeah, Spielberg. That's what I told these ladies. Papa Smurf. I tell them, hey, put your hair down. They're just more into comfort. They don't get it. Big Pumpkin, we've been doing this for years. You don't get it. Put your hair down. You look like a movie star. Put your hair up. Everybody, turns into Maid in Manhattan. Mud Buggy, so you tuned into that Mexico stream. That was a classic. I still have, actually, that bottle, the actual vase that tequila comes in, it's beautiful. And it's called, what's it called? Azul tequila, something like that. I mean, the thing that it comes in is worth $100 at least. And I think I gave that to Flo to hold on to. And I told her, this is not yours. You're just gonna hold on to this for me. Because that brings back a lot of good memories of that Mexico trip. Had a great time down there. The only thing about Cabo is it's not cheap. When you say I'm going to Mexico, you think cheap. Not Cabo. That place is expensive. It's nice. It's secure. The cartels rule that place with an iron fist, which is actually a good thing. There ain't no shenanigans. We had a great time down there, but that place is not cheap. Let's see. Yeah, it was a great time in Mexico. That's right. If you ever do a live stream, keep it simple, stupid. Exactly. And look, these days I was talking about cameras and camera equipment yesterday briefly. Okay, when I first started this game, the camera that you had mattered. The phone that you had mattered, because technology, was struggling to do what you wanted it to do. A lot of cameras were great, but they would overheat. You know, the phone's stabilization was crappy. Folks, these days, that barrier to being able to put on a live stream is pretty much gone. I mean, again, you can just fire up a live stream from your phone. You can film from your phone. And somebody asked me the question the other day about what gimbal I was using. I have a DJI gimbal. It's the Osmo 6. I don't remember what model it is. I bought it about, I don't know, a year or so ago. And that thing will follow you around. You know, if you put it on a tripod, it'll follow you around. It'll track you, all that good stuff. But walking around, it's a pain in the ass. If you're just going to film a video, you don't need a gimbal. If you're going to live stream, you do. But if you're just going to walk around and film a video just like this, the technology these days are just like this. You don't need anything external hanging off of this to get an acceptable quality, an acceptable level of quality, where back in the day you did. Now, I prefer using wireless microphones because you don't have to be married to the camera or right there close to the microphone. But these days, I don't recommend anybody invest in any type of camera gear if you're starting out this game. Do 100 videos off your phone, and if you're still doing videos, okay, then start looking around and maybe getting some better equipment. But again, why? The technology is there. It looks so good on that damn iPhone. A lot of folks can't tell the difference. Okay. All right, let's go back. Let's see. Check your comments here. Go you, Steve. How are you? Let's see. Rose, chilling like a villain, watching the stream. Kind of sad I didn't get to see Fatima today. She was having technical difficulties. Yeah. All right, Mike. How you doing, Mike? Mike says he quit drinking. Now he suffers with, what is that? Oh, ED. I think it's quite the opposite there, Mike. If anybody's like struggling with that problem, if you quit drinking, a lot of y'all, it's going to correct itself. If you just quit drinking, you're not going. You might find that you don't need Viagra or Cialis, whatever that stuff is these days. I'm not an expert on that. I'm actually scared to death of that shit. But if you're a drinker and you're having erectile dysfunction problems, stop drinking. And for a lot of y'all, that's going to correct that problem. If you quit drinking, it corrects a lot of problems. Corrects the problem of catching the clap quite frequently, spending too much money, sleeping with disreputable women. It cures all those problems if you quit drinking. Okay, I started the stream out talking about the history of Black Friday. That's a topic that can only take me so far. I personally, I like the Thanksgiving. When I was living in the States, I like Thanksgiving better when you're around a lot of family, because it just meant people got together and they ate, visited with one another, and you didn't have that stress of buying everybody a gift. I got to the point where, you know, if I had a choice to go visit family on Thanksgiving or Christmas, I'm going Thanksgiving every time. Had a much better time. Yeah, I love Christmas, don't get me wrong, but it was just too much stress, especially if you're a busy person working 60, 70 hours a week. Who's got time for that? You know what I mean? But now that Thanksgiving is come and gone, now it's time to look forward to Christmas for the kids. They're all excited about it, obviously. Okay, so iLaugh says, yeah, you could quit drinking, but then started drinking 14 cases of soda a week. I'm going to get diabetes. That's a good point. Since I quit drinking, You know, because before I wake up in the morning, San Mig Light to me was a bottle of water. I mean, that's just piss beer anyhow. It's I drank San Mig Light all day long, and that's pretty much all I would drink, or Heineken. And then what do you do when you quit drinking? You end up drinking Coke. That's my, I don't want to say my vice, but I like to drink Coke. That's what, you know, puts a little gas in the tank. You know, I need $2 million in a couple of Cokes. And folks, I say that a lot, and I think a couple people didn't get the joke when I said all I need is $2 million and some cocaine. That's off of a show, and some of y'all know what I'm talking about. But I think somebody thought I was serious when I keep saying that. It's a line off a show, a very funny show, and the character who says it is Uncle Baby Billy. He's trying to fund his show called Teengus. And some of y'all have seen it. If you haven't seen it, that is absolutely an hilarious series. What's it on? Is it on HBO? Does somebody put the name out there? I'll just go ahead and tell you. The Righteous Gemstones. Funny as can be. Alright, go back to the comments here. Yeah, so the point is, you quit drinking, you will end up drinking a lot more soft drinks and or coffee. And a lot of folks who quit drinking, they just switch over to cigarettes and coffee. They go from one vice to another. Sort of like pick your poison. Which one's the the less evil out of all those topics. But I drink a lot of Coke, a lot of coffee, a lot of tea now, where before it was just beer. Okay, what do I think about the marijuana laws in Thailand now? I have no idea what the current state of the laws are here. I really didn't know from the beginning what the laws were, and then things changed, I heard. I'm not up on all that, so I don't know. All I know is that when I first came back, the first trip after it was legalized, what have you, there's weed shops everywhere. But I would never see any customers in the weed shops. There were more weed shops than customers. I mean, if I walk by 10 weed shops, there might be one customer in one place. That's what I observed as a whole on average. So I don't know what the current state is. That's not my scene. And I'm not judging anybody if that's your scene, but that's never been my scene. I don't know nothing about it. All I know is when I go walking and I see these shops, and I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with it. Okay. Let's go now. JW's Dream, how are you? Checking in from Southern Alabama, LA, Lower Alabama. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, I could give up the soft drinks, but I have to stick with coffee and tea. Hey Rose, how are you? Awesome, how you doing? No, I didn't talk about the new visa rules because I'm not up on that, my friend. I see, you know, I read the titles, I see some thumbnails, I see some articles. I don't know what they're talking about or what they're referring to. But I did a video about this a couple years ago, and this is my basic position on all the rumors. I don't listen to any rumors. Okay? There's always changes, there's always rumors, people are always upset about it and getting their blood pressure up and worried and blah blah blah. Okay? In my position in the video, my position is you worry about what your visa person or your lawyer, whoever assists you with your visa, which I recommend you get somebody to help you navigate it. You do what they tell you to do because they're the experts. Don't try to come over here or to a place like Southeast Asia or anywhere and become a visa expert based on what people say on YouTube. Okay? Don't go to Dr. Google to solve your health problems or your legal problems or your visa problems. Okay, you go to your visa service, your expert who's in that field, or your attorney, or whoever handles that, and you let them tell you what the rules are and what you need to do and what the changes are. That's the only people I listen to. Okay, I listen to the people who know what they're doing and know the law and know the rules. I can give a shit what people say on YouTube, what the articles are, what the rumors. Don't care. Doesn't raise my blood pressure. None. Boom! Off the top ropes. Kuya Steve. Thank you very much, my friend. So it doesn't bother me. And when you first move out of your home country, especially you come to Thailand, things are always changing. Things will change and then they reverse course when they figure out it's not a good idea. And that's the good thing about Thailand. They'll make a decision and it'll be so unpopular and they realize it's not good. They're not afraid to do a U-turn and reverse course. Where the PI makes a bad decision, it takes fucking 3 years for them to realize it and to reverse course. So, I just don't spend 1 second of my time worrying about the rumors. The barstool lawyers, what I got a new term for them, the 1 square kilometer commanders, the one-click commanders, click kilometer. The one-click commanders who spend all their time on 2 or 3 soys, whatever the fuck they do. Now they're experts on the country. Don't waste your time on that. Okay, you go to your lawyer or your visa specialist, your visa agency, and say, what do I need to do? What's the laws? Let them tell you, not YouTube. Ain't nothing real on the internet, homie, period. You're wasting your time. So that's my position on the new visa rules. Don't know, don't care. There's only one place I go and then they can tell me what the rules are. Because it's something that no matter, you can worry or not, it's outside your control. Why worry about it? Okay. All right, go to WebMD if you want to convince yourself that you're dying. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Go consult Dr. Google and you'll find something that's wrong with you. That's a good point. Okay, Awesome's asking about the floods. The floods are down in the south of Thailand and it's just heartbreaking. I mean, my goodness, just check out some of the videos. I mean, the last one of the videos that's going around is the guys crawling along the power lines. The water's right below them. They're crawling on the power lines to get away. My heart goes out to all those folks down there, but that's like another world from here where I'm sitting. I mean, right now, beautiful day. There's not a cloud in the sky. So where I'm at, this area, it's a world away from what's going on down there. But yeah, it's just, they're in bad shape down there. Let's see, Sequoia Steve said, Let's see, the chicharron, pass the lubon. Yeah, when I leave Thailand, that's what Big Pumpkin requests. That's her number one main request, is that I bring her the chicken chicharrones. They're absolutely delicious. You know, every day I'm at my fried chicken vendor, and you know, 20 baht for a small bag, basically about the size of a bag of potato chips. But their chicken chicharrones are absolutely delicious. The minute they open my suitcase, everybody's hunting for those chicharrones, and they don't wait. They're just digging into them. Let's see. Somebody did an hour, and people are still confused. Let's see. Okay, I'm in KL, and the rain is constant, but the drainage is great here. Okay, so yeah, so a lot of rain down there in Kuala Lumpur, but you're not seeing the flooding. Okay, and then Rad Pixels is saying he heard they received over 2 feet of rain, 2 foot of rain in a short time. Yeah, I think there was it yesterday or one of the recent, maybe this week, that in one day it received the record amount of rain. Yeah, it's just a bad situation. But I don't know what else to say. You know, the Philippines has had a rough year with typhoons, flooding, but that's every year. The earthquakes have done a number. It's just been a lot of stuff going on this year, it seems like. Let's see, what's my favorite thing to do here in Thailand? Oh man, a long list of favorite things. I mean, number one's got to be the food. Number two, just riding my motorbike out in the countryside. There's a long list of favorite things to do here. Hey Doc, how you doing? Got Dubai on station. Let's see. I lived in Phuket for a couple years and missed the kingdom. Everything's good here, man. Everything's good here in Pattaya. Just beautiful weather. It's cool. Like I said, at night it's cold. No need for the aircon at night. It's cold. You get on a motorbike at night, you got to have a jacket on. You know, some of y'all hit me about wearing that A2 jacket with the fur. Hey, you get on a motorbike here in Thailand at 2 in the morning or early in the morning. I'm not out at 2, but I am out sometimes at 05. And you got to have that jacket. It's just cool. No, I haven't been tracking the volcanoes. The only 2 volcanoes that I really track closely is the 2 that we live between over there in Angeles City. You know, if you don't know about Angeles City, I say this a lot, but Angeles City is here. There's a volcano here, and there's a volcano here. The southern end of the runway at Clark is about the halfway point between Mount Pinatubo and Mount Arayat. 2 stratovolcanoes. We live in between over there. And quick history lesson, Mount Pinatubo blew in 1991 and lowered the global temperature by approximately 1 degree for 10 years. I tell this story a lot, but I went to Pompeii. And if you ever get the chance to go to Italy, go to Pompeii. It's just one of the best adventures trips I've been on. But you'll stand there in Pompeii and look at Mount Vesuvius and then look around and see all the people, you know, all the city that's developed back since 79 AD. And then you're looking at the Pompeii and you're like, people know what happened to Pompeii in 79 AD. Why would they live around this this volcano. And then here I am in Angeles City living in between two volcanoes. And the reason is we just don't think it's going to happen to us while we're there, during our lifetime, what have you. Let's see. What do I miss the most about America? I just did a video called the top 9 things I miss about the U.S. And they're not detrimental, but they're little small things that I miss. The main thing you miss is your family and your friends. You're, not getting to see my dad on a daily basis. Those are the big things. I left those off the top 9 list because they're obvious, right? But check out that video, man. Top 9 things. Boom! Off the top ropes of the octagon. Rad pixels. Let's see. One of my favorite things to do was to get a foot massage at Lucy's Massage on Soy Bacau. If I do go get a massage, that's all I do these days is a foot massage. But with saying that, I never go get a massage anymore. But when I have friends or family coming to town, that's one of the things they want to do. And if I end up at a massage place, all I'm going to do is get a foot massage. I'm just not into the oil massages anymore. It's just, it's just too stressful. I'd rather sit there, get a foot massage, talk to the ladies, have an hour of conversation while my buddy or whoever's in the back getting their oil massage. So, just one of those things, I don't say anything. A lot of things get old or they lose their luster after a certain point, Okay. People like rolling the dice. That's why we like motorcycles. Okay, well that's a good analogy. Goes back to the story I tell about this old timer back in the 80s told me and my stepbrothers. He said, boys, there's only 2 types of riders. Those who have gone down and those who will go down. And that was probably around 1986, and about 10 years later, this dude went down on a bike. Come close to buying the farm back during that little incident. So yeah, people like rolling the dice. Okay, Kel, are you saying that they have a Filipino band? Oh, okay, yeah, Filipino band. So the Triangle Bar off the Soy Pothole has an awesome Filipino band most nights. Yeah, that'd be worth taking a look at. And folks, if you don't know, a lot of the bands here in Pattaya or in Thailand, they're Filipino bands. And wonderful bands. And there's a lot of great Thai bands too. But you know how if you're not sure if it's a Thai band or a Filipino band, just go up there and request a Thai song. Hey, can you play Du Ter Tum? Well, if it's a Filipino band, they'll just look at you like, what? But yeah, if I were to be out and about, I would go check that out. The Filipino band that's on my one video that used to play at the Hard 8, when I went there in August, they don't have a band over there. At least in August they didn't. They took the band out and moved them to Country Road over in Jomtien, if you're interested. I was going to go over there and check them out, and then we got sidetracked. But that's what they told me. They told me that band is playing over at Country Roads. The best thing about being raised in the South. Wow, that's a video right there. There's a lot of good things that come out of being raised in the South. Maybe I'll do an entire video on that subject. Well, folks, just a technical update. How is the audio? Is everything okay now that I turned that fan off and got swapped over to this microphone? We still good on the audio? I'll wait for somebody to reply. And I'll go back, let's see. Oasia says there's a Pinoy band in Treetown at the Basilisk Bar. They're called P Republic. Okay, so there you go. One in Treetown, one on Soy Pothole. And I like going and sitting in those bars. Okay, so audio is great. Thank you very much, Chris. I like going and sitting in the bars, listening to live music, and recording the whole set. You know, a lot of the music I listen to is the stuff I've recorded. I just sit there and hit play on my own playlist. Okay, sounds good. All right, so my stereo mic is hanging in there. All right, somebody put on the screen how many folks. I can't see. I want to thank y'all for joining me on this, let's see, early morning Black Friday. So it's what, is it 4 a.m. on the East Coast? Is my clock right? I believe so. Coming up on 4 a.m. on the East Coast. What time are these stores open? I don't even know. I guess technically, what, they open at midnight. But over here, I'm not engaging in any Black Friday shopping activities. And when I explain, you know, trying to explain Black Friday to Big Pumpkin, all she had in her mind was she needs to go to Oppo Market. It's Friday. You know, every Friday is Oppo Market over there in Angelique City that all the ladies want to go to. So she just had it in her mind that means she can go to Oppo Market. Let's see, Doc did a lot of work up in Colat. The bands out in the country are great fun. Yeah, I used to have some great times up there where my old lady's from. Okay, 62 folks here. All right, welcome everybody. Those of you who are up early or up late. Hey, let's see, Mr. Uranus. No, I do not. And again, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it's just not what I'm interested in. I'm engaged in this game all day long, so when I take my break, man, I'm firing up a good documentary or a good World War II movie, you know, black and white. That's how I spend my downtime. Again, anybody else in this game, I wish them the best of luck. But, you know, that's just what I like to do. So, no, I don't follow anybody. I don't watch anybody. Because that's just not what I like to watch. Let's see. Man, JW's Dream. You got a lot of good titles, man. I should write some of these down and just make videos. What do I like most about Big Pumpkin? Well, it's what I like most about women in general. Everybody has their favorite, what they look for in a woman, what the qualities they look for. We all have different tastes, and the old saying, one man's junk's another man's treasure. What do I like most about her? Well, I guess what I like most is trying trying to keep this family friendly, but it's like 4 in the morning. I don't think many kids are up. Y'all's kids are up. They're probably still sleeping, right? I like that gadonkadonk. There you go. I didn't have to use any adult language. I like that big, thick, juicy gadonkadonk that she's got. That's the best thing I like about her. That's it. I like a big. Trying to keep it family friendly, but I like them real thick and juicy. That's what I like. Skinny models, you can keep those. I like big corn fed Midwestern. There you go. I hope that answers your question. All right, 12:57 a.m. Black Friday here in Southern California. I'm sure there are people storming the outlet mall nearby. And I'm happy to be here watching this fine live stream. And thank you very much for joining us, my friend. Thank you. Whatever happened to Big Money Benny? It's been a while since I talked to him. But last I heard, he's doing fine. You know, married, a couple kids, just was doing wonderful. Found him a good lady. So, again, I haven't talked to him in quite a while. But last I heard from him, he was doing wonderful. Okay, awesome. She's the mother of my child. Well, yeah, absolutely. Good point. I was thinking more of, you know, we men are more visual, right? I'm thinking, what do I like about her the most? And I like big butts, and I cannot lie. But obviously I love her because she's the mother of my child. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Let's see. Yeah, she's watching. Let's see. Big Jungle Girls, don't go to Samoa or Fiji. You will never leave. I'd love to go there. Yeah, I probably wouldn't leave. You know, many years ago, I've told stories about this dude before. I won't say your name, buddy. I haven't talked to you in, damn, 30 years. But I knew this dude, and back then, you thought he was joking, but then you thought he was crazy. There'd be a beautiful girl walk by, right? Everybody's just looking. Oh my gosh, man, that's a perfect 10. Beautiful. You just imagine Vanna White walk by, right? He wouldn't even be paying attention. And finally, he would just stop what he's doing, take a look. He'd take like a 2-second look, and he'd be like, shit, she ain't got no ass on her. He was not interested. He did not like skinny women or, you know, slim ladies. And you thought he was joking. And then you come to realize as you get to know him, he did not like slim women. He liked them big. And that was his game. That's what he liked. Had no interest in a girl like Vanna White. She just didn't have enough meat on her bones. That's who he was. From Texas. And so, you know, as we age, as we go through life, our interests and our likes, you know, they change, they evolve. You know, I used to be down with those skinny chicks. Now I like them real thick and juicy. That's what I like. Okay. Let's see. Let's hurry to get to the stores and buy some junk. Yeah, at the beginning of this show, what does Black Friday mean to you? It means a 95-inch TV for dirt cheap. Man, JW's dream. Man, I got to start writing some of this stuff down, man. And Mike coming in there with a question. Mike, how'd it go, man? I know a few live streams ago you were having a problem with your wife and a football team or something. I'm not sure how that worked out for you, man. I hope that worked out okay. Mike joins us frequently here in the chat and shares, the issues going on in his life. It seems like he's always got something going on, man. Thank you very much for sharing here. But I remember one of the things that you were upset about, it was something about your wife and the football team, I believe it was. Okay, so there's big, firm, and curvy. Then there's a bag of saggy potatoes. Yeah, there's someone for everyone. You know what I mean? Okay, JW, thanks for bringing that up. What happened to my idea about giving away my book, The King's Chronicles, on live stream? Okay, folks, right now, it's been going on. You can download my book for free. The link is down in the description box. Now, it's the ebook, it's not the paperback. But if you want to read my second book for free, I'm running a promotion that ends Sunday night. So you can just go down in the description box, click that Amazon link, download that thing for free. So thank you for reminding me. Matter of fact, there you go right there. How to escape the wrath of American women and live like a king. So if you want to download my second book right now, it's 100% free until Sunday night on Amazon. And I want to say thanks to everybody who has downloaded it already. Just some fun trivia, folks. This ain't the New York Times bestseller list, but I went in there and looked. Now, on the free portion, not on the paid, all right, on the free portion for this 4-day promotion, whatever, it's at number 2. Is it number 2 or number 1 in divorce? Anyhow, so I want to thank you. Sometimes life is about these small victories. Sometimes you can't hit a home run every time you step up to the plate. And sometimes you need these little tiny, small victories just to put a smile on your face. And so you find folks have downloaded it so many times, it's pumped it up to the number 1 or number 2 spot in divorce. Now on the free side, not the paid side now. Okay? Again, I said this is a small victory. I'm not saying I'm on the New York Times bestseller list. That's not what I'm saying. A small victory is that on the free side, it's either number 1 or number 2 in divorce and marriage and relationships. Now, that small victory for me is a huge victory, because if you go look at all the books around my book, The King's Chronicles, my book is written for men, for you, the old single dad that just got a divorce, wife got the house, all your money, your pension, your retirement, the kids. The only thing you got away with is your dog and an old truck. I wrote that book for you. All the books around my book are written for what? For women. They're written for women. There's nobody there representing the old single dads. So when I sat there and I looked, and there's the King's Chronicles with me and a bunch of Thai ladies smoking cigars, and there's all this, are you married to a narcissist? That must be a big, huge term in America. Oh, he's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. How do you recover from being married to a narcissist? It seems like anytime a woman divorces a man in America, they're automatically going to label you a narcissist. What the hell is that? So anyhow, there's me and my crew partying amid this sea of books written to help women. And as I was talking about yesterday, when you get a divorce in America, the woman is getting everything. But she gets all the counseling and all the help from all these groups and organizations as well, like she's the victim. There's no help for old single dad who just lost his money, his kids, his house, his vehicle, his sanity. There's nobody to help him. Why do the ladies get all the damn help? They just got all the money. They got all the control. They got the kids. Why the hell do they need emotional counseling over a divorce? The man is the one who needs some help. But it don't work like that. So anyhow, this book right here, this is the divorce handbook for men, especially in the West. But that was just a small victory to see that thing up there, 1, 2, 3, whatever it was, and see, and just see it ahead of all these other books written for women. Small victories. Small victories. So thank you very much for downloading that, everybody who has. Look forward to your review. If you could, leave a review on Amazon. But if you haven't downloaded it, go down there right now, click it, download it. The more times you download it, the more it's going to spin up there at number 1 or 2, whatever. And I just think that's absolutely hilarious. When I published that book, a lot of my friends would not read the book because they were scared their wife would find it or find out that they downloaded it. And I said, you've got to be kidding me. They said, no, man, if my wife finds out I downloaded that, I might get in trouble. What the hell does that mean, get in trouble? Because you read a book that with a different perspective that goes against the grain? That's what people told me. They're like, man, I can read your first book, but if my wife saw me reading that second book, I'd be in trouble. It's just crazy for a guy like me. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about it. Okay, I wrote this for my fellow man. But ladies, if you read this book, this is no bullshit, right? This is no bullshit. If you read this book, you want to know how to keep your husband, it's in the book. Because all these books on relationships and all this stuff are written by either women, Dr. Phil types, or men who are just absolute pussies. None of those three entities understand men. Real men. They don't. So, anyhow. Again, go down, download that for me. Share the link. It's free until Sunday. And I'll do a post and I'll post a screenshot of that. Small, tiny victory. Women initiate 80% of divorces. Of course. If you knew that you could just go, okay, say you're in a business, right? 50-50 with somebody, any business. And you knew all you got to do is go down and file some papers and you're going to take over that business, of course you would. That's what women do. It's that easy. Go see the lawyer, now they take everything. Why wouldn't they? If you look at it strictly from a business or a financial standpoint, they're stupid not to. The minute they marry you, put in a year, whatever, so they can claim that, haven't worked in a year. Go down, file the papers, take control, take everything. Pretty simple. How do you combat that? Well, don't get married and don't have kids. But if you get old and you don't have kids, life gets pretty damn lonely. What's the answer? I don't have all the answers. All I like to do is invoke thought. Whether I say something on my show, whether it's written in a book, I just like to invoke thought. And if somebody thinks about something I've said or that I've written, that's a victory for me. I don't claim to have all the answers. Let's see. Chris says it's a great book. Bought and read it a couple years back. A great read. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. Okay, when's my next book coming out? I've got more than one book in my head. I've actually already started putting some stuff down. But writing a book takes so much out of you. Now these guys who have, the big time writers, they can crank out books like they're nothing. Why? Because they have a team of editors, people doing the cover. All they do is sit down over a weekend, 2-3 days, whatever, spit out the rough notes and outline. They have a team to polish it up. Okay, I don't have all those resources. So these books took so much out of me that what I've learned is I have to pick and choose when I engage on the next one, because it will just consume you. So I can't start until I get to a point where I can. My vision is to pull a Johnny Depp. You see that movie The Window? And a lot of writers do this. You just go to get a cabin up in the mountains somewhere in seclusion, and 30 days later they come out with the rough draft. That's my vision for the next book that I write. That's what I need to do to get it done. So yeah, I've got some more in me. It's just I got to pick and choose the right time to engage and focus. And these days I'm so busy with everything in life, I got to be careful about when I do it. Does that make sense? Yeah, I could write a little bit every day, but you just lose your train of thought. And the way I wrote these was just sit down somewhere with a bottle of rum and just go to town. With nothing else going on in the world other than me drinking at that laptop. So yeah, I got several books. Before it's time to take a dirt nap, I'll have a few more credits, Lord willing. All right. Okay, what are my thoughts on the high-rise tower fires in Hong Kong? I briefly saw an article about it. Somebody mentioned it yesterday. I don't know any more than that, so I don't know. I'm not really aware of what's going on down there. Okay. Women don't care about your trials or efforts. They hang around the finish line and pick the winners. Let's see. Good old Johnny Depp's new book title. Now, is that a joke or did he write a book? I think that's a joke. Yeah, another triple bogey. I got to do the audio books. Everybody's told me that since I published these books. Where's the audio book? What I'm going to do, I think this keep it simple, right? Is to sit down in front of my camera and just read a chapter at a time, publish the video, put it in a playlist, there's the book. So there'll be 2 playlists. And I got no excuse why I don't do that. Because that's mechanical. That doesn't require any creative thought. It just requires me sitting down and reading for a couple hours a day, and I could get it done. So that's just a failure to execute. But writing the book and the creative process, it takes more. So absolutely, I should do it. Okay, audiobooks would kill it because no one has time to read anymore. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Who has time to sit down and read a book these days? Man, that is a very good point. You know, they say, and I heard this saying when I was, even before I wrote the first book, they say it's very easy to write a book. It's damn near impossible to sell the thing. And what most people find out is that they'll write a book and say, back then before print on demand, you had to order the copies, right? However many you want to order, the more you order, the cheaper per copy. It's changed now. It's all print on demand. But what most people would do is they write a book. They might sell 5 or 6 copies. They end up giving away a bunch of copies to friends and family who never read the book. And then they have a closet full of boxes of books. I hate to put a number on it, but I'd say that's like 95% of people who write books. It takes so much effort to write it, but the really difficult, almost impossible thing is to sell the damn thing. Unless you get a deal with one of these big publishing houses. And then again, these days, who has time to read a book? And the other battle with this thing was, most A-type personality males aren't going to read that shit. Why? Because they know everything. We know everything already. Why do I need some other dude to tell me about how to deal with my divorce? Why? Because I know everything. How could this guy possibly help me out, right? Men don't want to read. That's why you see all those books. They're written, for women. A lot of them are written by women, but half of them are written by men, but the books are written for women because that's who buys the relationship books, the divorce books, the self-help, all that stuff, right? So writing this thing here was an uphill battle for readers. Okay, new Yeti cup. Now, I've had this thing for a long time, man. And the reason it's still in pristine condition is because it's not in the Philippines. If it were over there, it'd already be destroyed. This is actually my favorite one. Let's see, haven't tuned in for a while. Currently, I'm in the Kingdom of Thailand. But yes, I'm still on an extended temporary deployment over in the Philippines. Okay, KC says, do an AI audiobook in the voice of Morgan Freeman. All right, I think you said the same thing yesterday. Maybe you said Morgan Freeman, and then I changed it to say Samuel Jackson. But yeah, Morgan, well, either one of them. That would be funny as hell, but I'm not into the AI stuff. That's why I won't do it. It would be funny. It would be funny as hell. Samuel Jackson. But yeah, I'm not into the AI stuff. Yeah, you want to know how I feel about divorce in America? Okay, you just download that book. You'll pretty much get a feel for how I feel about it. And the child custody laws and all of that stuff that goes along with it. You want to know the problem with American society? It's the absence of fathers. That's it. The system in the U.S., the educated fools who put the system in place, have removed fathers from the lives of children. That's why we have a cultural disaster going on in the United States of America. Can't get along with your wife? Okay, no problem. Now you get to be a fucking, not even a part-time dad. I mean, I don't even consider that part-time. 2 weekends a month, that's not even part-time. 2 weeks in the summer, that's not part-time. That's why you have the problems in America. Because the court systems, the people who put those systems in place, took fathers out of the lives of kids. There you go. So until that whole system is scrapped, Absolutely scrapped. It's not going to change. I mean, kids are hard enough to deal with as they are. But just for example, okay, you got old single mom trying to deal with a 14, 15, 16-year-old kid, a male. How's she going to handle him? She can't. Once a kid gets to be 13, 14, it takes a man to be able to mold that young man. And that's where you lose them. They're just kids raising themselves. Why? There's no fathers there. Pretty simple. The whole system has to be scrapped if you want to fix the cultural problem in America. It has to shift to where the father has to stay in the child's life. It has to change. Where you go before the judge, there's a 99% chance that the dad is going to get full custody, whether he likes it or not. That should be the new, I hate to use the new normal, but that should be the normal. Okay, you want a divorce? Whether you like it or not, the kids are living with dad. That's it. That's how you fix the cultural problem. Whether that dude likes it or not. There you go. Okay. All right, here we go. Was I wearing a helmet when I crashed my motorcycle back in the 90s? That's why I'm still here today. I was wearing a full face helmet. That's why I'm here today. And that's why I tell everybody, if you're going to ride a motorcycle, even a motorbike, full face helmet. Okay? I've done videos about it. I harp about it on every ride. Why? Because I'm here today. Because I was wearing a full face helmet. You should have seen that helmet. I think I'll save it for the next book, telling that ordeal. But it messed me up. Had I not been wearing a helmet, I wouldn't be here. Had I not been wearing a full face helmet, I wouldn't have a face. I might still be here, but I wouldn't have a face. So if you wear the Evel Knievel type, you're not going to have a face. If you wear the skateboard helmet, you know what I'm talking about, right? Which everybody wears around here. They're not helmets. I call them head ornaments. If you wear the head ornament, like the bicycle helmets, all that, useless. To a guy like me from the 80s riding bicycles, when I see people these days wearing those fucking bicycle helmets, I just stop and laugh. I laugh for two reasons. Number one, I didn't grow up riding bicycles with damn helmets. I laugh for that purpose. And I laugh, number two, that anybody who thinks that's going to help them in a real crash, that makes me laugh too, because you're naive. They're useless. Those are head ornaments. There you go. That's my position on it. If you want to ride a motorbike, full face helmet, and you wear the thing properly. There you go. I'll save the details of that story for the next book. But yeah, thanks for the question. Again, I'm all about people learning from my mistakes and my experiences. It don't matter what you think looks cool when you're on your bike. It's like Wild Hogs, right? Dudley had that damn leather helmet, whatever. You don't wear a helmet and you crash a bike, you're not going to look too cool in the ICU. Intubated. There you go. Let's see, am I going to be doing some more cooking shows? Of course. Of course, that's all we do is cook. Absolutely. Okay, let's see. I'm well into Black Friday here now. Time to hit the mall. Just kidding, my bed is calling me. All right, my friend, get some sleep. Thank you for joining us. Then we got New Zealand on station. And Kel says, yeah, kids live with dad, and the mother has to pay child support. You know, I agree with you. The kids should live with dad, but child support should go away. The word child support, what kind of fucking word is that, right? We got to get that out of our vocabulary. And I heard this term years ago when I was writing this book, and I published it, and somebody said the words co-parenting. I think I was on Twitter at the time. I was trying to promote the book. And I'd never heard that term before, co-parenting. So I said, what the fuck does that mean? And some chick answered me seriously. Well, co-parenting means blah, blah. That's the funniest shit I'd ever heard. But again, there you go. There's the problems with America. Words like child support. Words like co-parenting. Okay, there you go. That's why you have a cultural problem. Kids shooting up schools and doing what they're doing. I think the kids should live with dad. Nobody should pay child support. That should be a thing of the past. A failed experiment. That's what I think. Or, to be fair, you could break it down into age bracket, right? Okay, the kids stay with mom till they're 7, and when they turn 8, they go live with dad. Because that's when they need somebody strong to guide them. But child support, co-parenting, visitation, what all these fucked up terms that got to go away. All right. I always wear a full face helmet. They're compulsory in Australia. If the coppers see you without one, you're going to jail. Okay, well that's pretty harsh. Different states in America, unless it's changed. Some states you have to wear a helmet, some states you don't. There's arguments both ways. Okay, you want your freedom. I get it. We'll go back to the seatbelt argument. Should it be against the law to have to wear a seatbelt? I've seen both sides. I'm on both sides of the argument because I grew up in the 80s. 70s and 80s. We didn't wear seatbelts. We didn't wear helmets on bicycles. But you know what? My experience as a paramedic, it's not rocket science to say if you get into a crash or a rollover, you want to be in the vehicle. You want to stay in the vehicle. If you get ejected from the vehicle, the statistics of you dying just skyrocket. What keeps you in the vehicle? A damn seatbelt. Motorcycle? I'm here to tell you. You ride a motorcycle, you better have a full face helmet. I don't care what the law is. Or if you crash, there's a good chance you're going to die or not have a face. I came out of my little ordeal. I'm still alive. I still got my face. I got a scar with, 26 staples? Anyhow. All right. Shout out from the Mexican border, Terlingua, Texas. How you doing, Daryl? Okay, so helmets are compulsory, not necessarily full face, but you always wear a full face. All right, well, good for you, man, and that's just advice. That's the best advice I can give anybody. Between my own personal experience, being in EMS and law enforcement, you just don't think it'll happen to you till you lay that bike down. That's right. Back in the 80s, we used to drink from the garden hose. I can still taste it right now. The minute I saw that sentence, I'm just tasting that water coming out of that water hose. Sometimes if you're really thirsty, you start drinking out of that hose, but you didn't let it get to the cold water. Everything in the hose was hot. Then you get that big mouthful of hot water. Like, damn, gotta wait another minute or another few seconds. Why can't we go back to the 70s, 80s? I'm okay with it. The Manguera. That's right. So many things that, we did back then. We turned out all right. Riding in the back pickup trucks. But then here you go. That's against what I just said about seatbelts, right? Just a different time. Okay, folks. I want to thank y'all for hanging out. I'm gonna talk about my book for anybody who's just joined us. I want to try to get some more downloads where that thing gets pumped up to #1 in the free section. It says Amazon bestsellers, free. Again, not the paid. I'm not on the paid side. I'm not claiming to be on the paid side. It clearly says on the free classification, right? Because you can't mix the two, right? You got the paid ranking, you got the free ranking. But it's just still funny as can be. So if you haven't downloaded my book, go down in the description, click that link, download it, share the link, see how many downloads I can get before Sunday. Because it'll only let you do it for like 5 days at a time. I did a giveaway in my first book, I guess a couple years ago. So anyhow, download it, share the link, see how many downloads I can get. See if I can be #1 in both those categories. Divorce, what's the two? Divorce and relationships and marriage, something like that. Anyhow, 2 separate categories. Yeah, so I'm gonna start closing her up. Start closing up shop. Thank y'all very much for putting up with that audio issue. Again, it's my good gear, but the good gear is very sensitive at times, and that's what you get. I just go with the simple gear. I wouldn't have had the problem. Quality might not be as good, but it's like back in World War II, the German tanks versus the Sherman tank, right? The Tiger tanks were so sophisticated. They had all these fine craftsmen putting them together, but when they broke down in the field, it was very complex to fix them. And like they said, you took a Sherman tank, you could fix that thing with duct tape and a hammer. And then you see the outcome, right? The simplicity. They say wars are won in factories, which is very scary since China manufactures everything these days. All right, I'll take a few more comments and then I'll start shutting her down. Hey, let's see, Scott's Philippines Adventures. Where did I get my pizza oven? My pizza oven is from a company called Barrel Pro. The link on that video, when I first got it, there's links in the description of that video. But it's Barrel Pro. They're made locally there north of Manila. Every grill, not every grill, but that's the 4th or 5th grill piece of equipment that we bought from them. So it's not something that's made in China. It's manufactured right there in Manila. The things are built like tanks. And we've enjoyed all the products we've bought from them. Shout out to Doc M. Doc M's the one who funded that, and we certainly appreciate it. And it's a champion. I'm still learning how to use the thing. Every time I use it, I'm getting better and better. Our bacon is getting better and better. But yeah, what a fun piece of gear. I need to get me a peel. I think that's what y'all call it, right? That big thing to slide the pizza in and out. I've been using my spatula from my barbecue tool set and just making like little small things. But we've had so much fun with that. Everybody obviously loves eating the bread and stuff that we cook in there. But yeah, it's a company called Barrel Pro. I can't think of the name of the website, but that's the name of the company. Okay, a couple more comments, folks, and then I'm gonna shut her down here. Let's see. Talking about, yeah, Thailand reminds me of Australia 50 years ago when everybody rode in the backs of pickup trucks. Yeah, and I think that's a lot of what draws, dudes like me and my generation to places like this is that basically you do step back in time. Not necessarily infrastructure. It's just the mentality. That's why we like places like this. It reminds you of the 70s and 80s and the way it was, the mentality, the slower pace. People aren't so uptight, the way it was back then. Let's see. Yeah, check it out. There's two sizes of pizza ovens that they make. We got the smaller one, which is plenty for us. Unless you're running a restaurant, I don't see the need to get the bigger one. But yeah, there's two sizes of those pizza ovens. We have the smaller one, which is still big. So we didn't need the big one. If I'm sitting there looking, do I need a small one, the big one? I'm glad we went with the smaller one. We just didn't need the big one. Let's see, Peter Birdie. How you doing, my friend? How many girls in the last 10 years? Well, man, I have a bought. Well, I usually get them on clearance down at Walmart. Thanks for the question, my friend. Thank you very much. Okay, a couple more comments, folks, and I'm gonna call it a night. Again, my voice was fine until I fired up this live stream right before I hit go live, and then my voice just gave out. That's just Murphy's Law, and it could be because I was smoking on that pipe. It could be my own fault. Folks, if you're not a subscriber here, if you'll hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Everybody complains they never get notified, but usually when I go in there and look, it's because nobody clicked the notification. Get all these subscribers and nobody clicks the bell. Now sometimes YouTube unsubscribes you, whatever. I hear those stories too. And if you'll hit that thumbs up button, that like button, that thumbs up button, smash that like button. If you say some combination of that, the little like button thing will light up red. And I saw it on a video. Trust me, it'll do it. At least it used to. But if you say smash that like button or something like this, or hit that like button on your screen, it should light up red to bring your attention to it. I thought I was crazy, but I saw a video yesterday where it did it. But I forget what I got to do. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. Something like that. Something happens. Let's see. Go get a soapy massage. Great for sore throats. Back in the day, I used to engage in that. I haven't done that in over 10 years. It's one of those things you got to do it once. Yeah, I a long time ago, man. Now, cold beer, I got 3 cold beers in there, would probably help my voice out real well. Let's see. Hey, Richard, how you doing? See what happened to my buddy. You know what, man? They're good people. They're doing well, and I'm just not engaging in that story. That's all I'm gonna say. They're good people. They're doing okay. Not getting into all the rumors and all the chismes and all that stuff. They're good friends and they're good people. Let's see, Don. How are you, my friend? Thank you for tuning in. Great stream. Thanks, and enjoy your day. I hope you have a good day too. Okay, folks. Well, as soon as I figure out how to shut this down, it started out the history of why they call it Black Friday. If you're just joining me, it went back. The first term was what, 1869. Then it came out in a magazine in the 50s. And then sort of what, the mid 80s when it started really gaining some traction. So I hope y'all have a good day, and I'll see y'all on the next one. In the next one, I will just use this Sennheiser shotgun microphone. If everybody's in agreement that the audio was good, I won't get too technical. I won't use the wireless while I'm sitting here on the couch. So, with that, folks, y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all on the next one. And enjoy your morning, your evening, your day. The world is round. It's time for me to go watch a nice World War II movie. I watched one last night. I think it was called The Night Train to Munich. It was like in 1940, if I remember correctly. What a great movie. I think that's what it was called. Okay, I'm out of here, folks. I'll see y'all in the next one. And peace out.